This bird is a serial killer.
Jesus f***ing Christ, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher.
I really hate that name.
Introducing the shrike, a group of feathery friends found all over the world, including the land down under. Now, at first glance, you may be thinking to yourself, how could this sweet little guy be a vicious killer? I mean, he's so tiny. They only grow up to around 30 centimeters and cap their weight out at 90 grams. And on top of being about as threatening as a fucking teddy bear, look at their claws. A shrike trying to end anything with its talons is like trying to stab a hippopotamus to death with a fucking pool noodle. Listen to the thing, it sings like it's on American Idol. It's a songbird, a branch geek. You'd never heard a fly. But I'm fucking onto you, Tweety.
You give me the f***ing creeps, you know that, Dexter?
You may have everyone else fooled, but I know exactly what you are, because shrikes actually have another name. They're called fucking butcher birds. Yeah, that's right, the Dexter jokes actually had a fucking point. You see, when the Bay Harbor butcher bird wants to hunt, they first start by selecting a target.
Tonight's the night.
Now, unlike Dexter, their code tells them they can eat whatever the f*** they want. Insects, mice, f*** me, even
lizard.
And once they pick their meal, they wait for the right moment and swoop on it. Now, while those claws might be fucking useless, they do have a signature weapon. That tiny hook on the end of their beak. And once they land on their victim, they slide that hook into its neck, perfectly slotting between their vertebrae and severing their fucking spinal cord. But converting their prey into a vegetable isn't enough. No. These sick fucks keep trophies. Once they have paralyzed their prey and shattered its spine, they will fly its corpse back to their larder, which is either a thorn bush or a fucking barbed wire fence. And once they get home, they fucking impale them. They will then leave that corpse there for days, occasionally biting chunks out of it, eating it like leftovers from the fucking fridge. Dexter collected blood slides. These fuckers create kebabs. This crab is a boxer.
What's your name?
Agree! That's right, stepping into the ring at 0.15 grams and a huge 2.5 centimeters in length, it's the boxer crab! You see, while most crabs use their pinchers to feed and defend themselves, the boxer crab has instead elected to spec into CQC and throw fucking hands. And despite their completely average and not at all small size, this fucker fights in the heavyweight division, able to punch out hundreds of times its size. But how does nature's little Mac win the fights? Well, that's pretty simple. He fucking cheats. You see, those little pom-poms aren't a fashion choice. Those are both sea anemone that the boxer crab holds in its claws to use as basically fucking brass knuckles. Now, they get these anemones by finding other boxer crabs who have them, jumping them, and then claiming them like they are a fucking WWE title belt. Now, if you weren't aware, anemones are venomous plant-like animals that, in order not to get eaten, sting the shit out of anything that touches them. Boxer crabs are immune to that sting. But you bet your ass that everything that tries to eat the boxer crab isn't. So, the crab and the anemone enter into a symbiotic relationship, essentially becoming an aquatic venom, with the anemone getting some of the crab's food, and the crab gaining venomous brass knuckles. So, whenever a predator gets in the ring with Crab Tyson here, he'll wait for it to get just within striking range, and then...
Mr. Squidward, I should kick your f***ing ass!
Scientists just discovered a new fish. Looks fucking ridiculous. This is the bumpy snailfish, a freshly discovered species found off the coast of California. What makes this absolute specimen stick out is that it's a deep sea fish found at a depth of 3 kilometers. And I am here to tell you exactly why. Because once God finished building this thing, he took a step back, looked at it, realized exactly how fucking chopped it was, and punted that thing into the depths of the ocean where no one would ever see it again.
Be free!
However, thanks to the hubris of mankind, it is here before us today to take the piss out of.
Look at the top of his head.
I mean, fucking look at it. It is a profoundly unserious creature. I do not think a single fucking thought has ever spawned behind those eyes. Not to mention the fit on it. It looks like an aquatic, uncooked turkey with a fucking smiley face drawn on it. Coming in at a solid 3 inches in length, Bumpy here is not the only species of snailfish. There's others that look like this. However, unlike his cousins, God deemed it so that this poor little f***er would be built like a shaved testicle. The scientific term for a pair of these should be a sack. However, despite the fact that he looks like a sperm cell with a receding hairline, I love him. He's so cute. Look at that smile. That shit reminds me of Sackboy on the PS3. I know when they got his ass on camera, he looked at it and went,
you know, when you showed me up, you put some of the stuffing in the wrong places, so I'm a little f***ed up. But will you take care of me forever and ever?
I don't think you understand just how old sharks are.
We got a boomer.
See, I'm not just talking individual sharks. Hammerheads, Bruce from Nemo, Jeff. Yeah! Your average shark lives anywhere between 20 to 80 years. Nothing all that special. I'm talking sharks as a species. Because as a concept, sharks are fucking one-tricks. They have mained this class through every single balance adjustment Earth has thrown at them. From climate change, to the Ice Age, to that time God decided to punt a rock at Barney the dinosaur. Yeah, when it comes to prehistoric shark species, most people think of the megalodon. That big boy the size of a kaiju that was swimming around in the ocean around 26 million years ago. Which might sound like a long time, but as far as sharks go, this thing's a fucking zoomer. Go back around 250 million years to the early Triassic, before the literal dinosaurs, and you'll find Helicorpion, a shark with a fucking buzzsaw for a mouth. 250 not far back enough for you? Go back around 300 million years, and you will find Adestus, the f***ing pog shark. And if that is still not far back enough, you can go all the way back, right to the beginning, to the first recognizable shark, Goliotus problematicus, at 410 million years old. Sharks have existed for 4 times longer than Saturn has had f***ing rings. The first tree only sprouted out of the ground 385 million years ago. That means that for 25 million years, Groot's great-great-grandfather was sat in God's drafts while this f***er chased Nemo. This is the world's oldest shark.
We got a boomer.
But how old actually is it? This absolute fossil over here is the Greenland shark. And this may come as a shock to you, but the Greenland shark is found in f***ing Greenland, man. And with Grandpa Shark here coming in at a f***ing kaiju-sized 6 meters in length and a literal f***ing ton in weight, this senior citizen probably worked with Godzilla back in his f***ing day. But how senior is senior? Well, you might be expecting him to say something along the lines of, 100 years, maybe 150 years, right? Try higher. No, not 200. Close, but not 300 either.
Chocolate.
No, the Greenland shark can live up to 500 fucking years. You know, I don't think you understand how old that is. So, to put it in perspective, this is Bob. Bob has just turned 500. Here is a list of things this has lived through. All 8 of King Henry's divorces. The invention of chocolate.
I remember when they first invented chocolate.
Shakespeare's entire lifespan. The Boston Tea Party. The signing of the Declaration of Independence and the founding of the United States. The colonization of Australia. The Industrial fucking Revolution. The invention of the light bulb and adoption of electricity. The Titanic becoming a submarine. World War I. The Great Depression. World War II. The Vietnam War. The fucking moon landing and the invention of the internet. The first episode of SpongeBob. Schlatt's crimes in 99. 2001. The invasion of Iraq. The global financial crisis. The death of Harambe. Australia catching fire. The virus. And it's still with us today to watch fucking TikTok. Okay, so, as the Aussie animal guy, I feel like I might owe you an explanation for this one. That is a normal fucking Roo. No, he is not Roosus Christ, he's not the second coming, and he's not gonna turn your water into wine. Alright, he might turn it into VB if you ask nice.
Get that up, yeah.
But if that's the case, how the fuck is he stealing the Son of God's passive? Well, the answer is fucking sand.
I don't like sand.
Yeah, you see, what's far more likely than a Roo being enchanted with water walking is that he's actually running on a sandbar. That is basically just a fancy description for ocean currents piling up a shitload of sand into one place, creating an offshore segment of the water that's not much deeper than a fucking kid's pool. Now, Roos know about sandbars, and they actually very frequently use them as a shortcut to get from A to B to find more food. So, while it looks like Skippy here is stealing Jesus' entire fucking flow, he's actually on a Macca's mish.
Let me get a